Hello everyone, welcome to another episode with Trucy Baby. Welcome to the part 2 episode of what you could be doing that could be sabotaging your prayers for a husband as a woman, as a single lady. Yes. So in my last episode was the part 1. I was talking about so many things that could be sabotaging your prayers for a husband. I mentioned spiritual immaturity, being in a toxic relationship, emotional instability, and so many other things. So check out my last video. I also mentioned someone that made a very interesting and educating, in fact, amazing comment at Amechi Obi. Thank you so much for that comment. I want to use this opportunity as well to thank you for such an educative comment. It was really, really nice. So I also want to point out something about his comment. I read the whole comment in my last episode, but there is just a part of that comment I want to read out and explain something to you guys. Hold on. So, a part of just a section of his comments said, but one key factor I wish to mention is touching on how a woman on her part before marriage would need to make a conscious effort to discover what it is to be a wife in modern society. Nice. Now, what I want to talk about this section of his comments is that it is very important that you know how to be a wife in modern society. Because if you don't know how to be a wife in modern society, you might actually be sabotaging your prayers for a husband without even realizing it. You wouldn't know. You understand? So it's very important that you know how to be. Society is changing. The world is changing. There are things about marriage that used to work before, back in the days, back in the 90s, that will not really work now, that doesn't work now. So it's very important that you update yourself with the principles of marriage that works now, so that you don't end up sabotaging your own prayers for a husband. It is very, very important. So please, let's dive in what we have for today on things you could be doing that could be sabotaging your prayers for a husband. But of course, before I begin, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Also like and comment on my videos as well. To all my subscribers, thank you so much for everything. I love you guys so much. So what are the things that could be sabotaging your prayers for a husband without you even realizing it? When you don't heal from your past, it could be sabotaging your prayers. You were in a relationship, maybe your ex did something to you 5 years ago, 3 years ago. You have not healed. Unhealed wounds bleed on those that did not cut you. Healing is your responsibility, not your husband's. You have to heal. Whatever it is that happened in your past relationship, you have to heal so that you can focus on the present, so that you can focus on a better relationship. If you don't heal and you enter into another romantic relationship with someone else, it will be like all those things will be affecting you. It will be affecting that your present relationship. It will be affecting that your partner. So heal. Whatever it is, take your time. Whatever it is that someone did to you, ex did to you, heal before you enter another relationship. Because the next relationship you could be entering might be the serious one that will lead to marriage. And you could use that, those characters that you could be exhibiting because you've not healed to sabotage that relationship. A good relationship for that matter. So please, it's very important that you don't, take up, grudges from your past relationship, all those bad experiences, and you now focus it on your new relationship as someone else. Totally no. It's very bad. It will only destroy that present relationship. When you chase men instead of purpose, my dear, you're killing your prayers. In fact, you're scattering your prayers. God did not design you to chase men. You don't have to chase any man. In fact, even the Bible agrees with what I'm saying. Even the Bible says that he that findeth a wife. The Bible did not say she that hunts for a husband. You don't need to hunt for a husband. You don't have to chase any man. Focus on your purpose. Let that man find you pursuing your purpose, building yourself, building your career, you're building your brand, building your business, you're fighting to become a better version of yourself. You're a full packaged woman. You're getting a degree. You're just doing something to make yourself a better person. You're developing your mind, developing yourself. Let him find you doing it. Instead of you living your purpose, living your destiny, living your career, and focusing on chasing men, it is desperation that makes women behave like that. So, my dear, do not be desperate for a husband. Do not chase men. Focus on your purpose. Let men come and find you. When you gossip and don't pray, you could be sabotaging your prayers, because you're meant to pray. If not, if you don't pray, it's for something, you're asking for a husband and you're not praying about it. It's more like a wish. You just wish you have a husband. If you really want that prayers to be answered, you have to bend down and pray. Not busy gossiping. You're always talking to people more than you talk to God. You're always busy talking, gossiping. You're not even doing important and valid things with your life. Bend down and pray. It is very important. A wife must know how to intercede. Remember in my last video, I mentioned how important it is to be spiritually mature, because there is a high level of spiritual immaturity in our society today. So prayers are very important, because as a woman, your tongue will either build or burn your home. So you have to learn how to use it wisely. Learn to intercede. Even if you have not seen the husband, praying for that person. If you have seen the husband and you're not yet married, or you guys are still planning to get married, intercede. Prayers are very, very important. When you don't know who you are, you could be praying in vain. Identity is everything. A confused woman, a woman that does not know who she is, will be waiting for a man to define her. Will be waiting for a man to tell her who she really is. But a woman that knows who she is, a woman that knows her worth, will multiply anything a man brings. Identity is very important. Know who you are. Physically, spiritually, mentally, anywhere you go as a woman, know who you are. In fact, see, let me tell you guys something. If you don't know who you are as a woman, my dear, you can definitely fall into the wrong hands. You can enter into the wrong relationship. Because not knowing who you are will make you settle for less. It will make you settle for unreasonable standards. So identity is everything. As a woman, you have to know who you are. If you are addicted to attention, that is a very serious character problem. Addiction to anything is very bad. As a woman, you always have this character of seeking validation from different men in order to feed your confidence. That is a very serious character problem, because such character addiction to attention will make you starve when you finally get married. You struggle to be faithful to one man. When you're not getting the attention from just one man in a faithful marriage, you will struggle. This kind of thing usually happens to all those young ladies that are very beautiful. They are used to getting, this so much attention from different men, and some of them get addicted to it. They are like, anytime a person on the road, wherever they go to, there is this level of attention that men always give them. Now, if you get addicted to that kind of thing, you will struggle, because something that you're now addicted to, when you now finally get married to just one man, and you're supposed to focus on that one man, you will now be finding it difficult to adjust. You will even be struggling to be faithful. So please, all those attentions is good though, because you're beautiful, men are easily attracted to you, but do not be addicted to those things. If you overlook those things, you will not be addicted to it. Do not get too used to those kind of things, so it doesn't affect your marriage in the long run. When you refuse accountability, that is a very serious problem. In fact, it is something that can serve as a red flag to men. So yes, it is indeed something that can sabotage your prayers for a husband. You don't like it when people correct you. Even when people just call you to check on you, you avoid friends that correct you. You avoid friends that tell you the truth, the raw truth as it is. That is really bad. You have to learn to be accountable. Accountability is not control. In fact, it is protection. It is very important. Keep the right people around you. Don't always avoid people that tell you the truth, because those people that tell you the truth want the best for you. They want you to change. They want you to marry right. So when someone is trying to, guide you in order for you not to make mistakes, trying to correct you, try to take correction. Don't always see it as them trying to control you, because there are so many people like that. They don't like to be accountable. They don't like people that will tell them the raw truth as it is. That is bad. When you have no financial discipline, that is definitely something that can sabotage your prayers for a husband. See, marriage requires stewardship. If you are not financially disciplined now, imagine how you will be if you're not accountable financially. If you're reckless with money now that you're single, it is just your money that you're in charge of, and you're reckless with it. Imagine how it will be when you finally get married and you're now into shared finances with your partner. So it's very, very important. God does not bless chaos, He blesses order. Orderliness is very important, especially in the area of finance, because you know that money is very, very important. So if you're reckless with money, it will definitely affect how your partner allows money into your hands, how he would allow you to control money. So as a woman, you have to learn financial discipline. It is very, very, very important. As a woman, if you're lazy, you could definitely be sabotaging your prayers for a husband. You want a hardworking man. You're busy praying for a hardworking man. But you don't want to work on yourself. You're lazy as a woman. You want a king, but you don't want to be a queen. You don't want to build your own kingdom. My dear, faith without works is dead. Build on yourself. You have to learn how to be hardworking as a woman. Don't be lazy. Towards house chores, your career, your business, everything about your life. Do not be lazy. Do not be careless about it. Hardworking women there is this mindset that they have. There is the way they carry themselves. So you have to learn how to be hardworking. Don't be lazy, so you don't attract the wrong man to yourself, and so that you don't sabotage your prayers for a husband, and so that also when that husband finally comes, you don't use that your character, that your laziness to drive that man away. So please, as a woman, learn to work on yourself every day. As you're praying for your husband, also work on yourself as well. If you cannot cook, clean, or manage the home, my dear, you're definitely sabotaging your prayer. Not just sabotaging your prayers, you're not ready. Let's just put it like that. Yes. It's not about being a maid. It's about being prepared for that thing you want to enter, being prepared for marriage. Your husband is your partner, not your parent. So you have to know how to handle what you're trusted with. There is this percentage of 21st century single ladies that have this mindset that just cooking, cleaning, taking care of the home is not their thing. It's not for them. That they will not do such. They don't have time for that kind of stress. They just want a husband, their home, and focus on their career. They are the working class wife. It is good. It's excellent to be a working class wife. Of course, that is what every woman should be. You have to have something doing. There are also some of them that see doing those things as the man, treating them as a maid. No, it's not about being a maid. Even if you hire a staff when you get married, know how to do those things. Know how to cook and clean and manage the home. Even if you will not do it when you get married, maybe you hire someone, fine and good, just to know how to do it. Even if you don't do it later on, it is very, very important, because if you don't know how to do it at all, it would be a red flag to that man that is coming for your hand in marriage. When you compare your man to every fantasy. My dear, you're not ready. Comparison is very, very bad, first of all, in marriage. Now, you're in a serious relationship. You should not be comparing that person to any man. Ladies, take notes, please. You have a man you're in a serious relationship with. You're busy fantasizing over rubbish. You want your man to be God-fearing like your pastor. You want him to be spiritual like your pastor. You want him to be as handsome as one celebrity like that. You want him, the same person, to be as rich as one CEO. You want him to be as tall as your father. You want him to be this like this person. You want him to be this like that person. You want a 15/10 man. Wow. My dear, those things are not you having high standards. In fact, what you have is unrealistic standards. Fantasies. In one word, all these things are not standards, they are fantasies. You're even asking for something you cannot even give. My dear, you should have standards, just like Mr. Amechi Obi 500 said in his comments. A woman should have logical standards, not unrealistic standards. Because having unrealistic standards will definitely sabotage your prayers for a husband. So be wise in such decisions. When you lack discipline as a woman, you are definitely sabotaging your prayers for a husband. It is very important that you, a woman, you know how to be disciplined. Your life should not be all over the place, physically, spiritually, and mentally. In fact, you need to ask yourself as a woman before you say, I do. What do I bring to the table? Because marriage requires structure. So, even that your answered prayer requires structure as well. So, as you're busy asking God for a husband, prepare yourself as well. Discipline yourself. Know what to. I think I need to do a video on what a woman brings to the table. Because a lot of women now have, not all, but there is this percentage of women that have this mindset that men should not ask them what they bring to the table. After all, it is a woman that will get pregnant, give birth, take care of the children and all of these things. Yes, I know. But that stage is a very difficult stage. But at the same time, you also have to have other things that you bring to the table. And don't worry, I'm going to be enlightening you guys on other things a woman should bring to the table in marriage. So watch out for that video. It's coming very soon. So yes, as a woman, you have to be disciplined. It's very important before you say I do. Last but not the least on today's episode, when you're easily offended and you refuse to work on yourself, my dear, you're definitely sabotaging your prayers for a husband. Every time you're always offended. My dear, in marriage, offenses will come. But the beautiful thing is that forgiveness comes quicker. A soft heart is a strong foundation. If you have it like it's part of you, like you're easily offended, you have to work on yourself. Because if you don't work on yourself and you carry such character into a marriage, you will definitely turn into a nagging wife. And a nagging wife never brings peace to the home. So work on your character. If it's part of you, you don't know how to control it, consciously work on your character so that you can change before you say I do. And finally, for today's episode, when you're desperate, you don't trust God, you don't wait for God's timing, you don't trust God's timing anymore, you could be sabotaging your prayers for your husband. You're now frustrated, you're impatient, you're borderline mad about everything. You're angry at God. But you say you trust God. But at the same time, you're trying to control the outcome of everything. My dear, you have to calm down. Don't be desperate. Do not allow frustration to flow into your mind because you're not married. No. Delay is not denial. Delay is divine alignment. Because if you see it as denial, if you give room for frustration and desperation, and once it steps in, it will scatter a lot in your life. There are so many women that get married at the age of 30, 35, even 40. Ladies are still getting married. So do not carry marriage on your head. Do not allow desperation to enter you because you're not married at the age of 30. Continue building your life. Focus on your purpose. Become a better version of yourself as a woman. Keep preparing yourself. Because if you allow desperation to enter into you, because you're now 30, you're 31, you're not yet married, you now allow frustration to take over your life, my dear, your life could shut down. So please, not give room for frustration, for desperation, or any other thing. Focus on your life. Delay is not denial. So ladies, dear ladies, I am not making this video to condemn the ladies. I'm not condemning anybody. In fact, it's actually to prepare you. Marriage is a gift, but preparation for marriage is the key. Yes. Don't just pray for a husband. Become a wife that God can entrust a husband into her hands. Prepare yourself before you say I do. If today's video challenged you, don't forget to share it with a sister that definitely needs it. And also like, comment, and subscribe for more real and raw truths on relationship and marriage. Don't forget that God's timing is the best, but the preparation is your responsibility. So until next time, stay rooted in the truth. Bye.